listening to the Full Court Press with your host, Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan. Is Tom Brady the Michael Jordan of football? Or is Michael Jordan just the Michael Jordan of Michael Jordan? Because to be honest with you, every time somebody starts to rise up with greatness, we have to have this conversation, and I just don't understand why. We need to leave Michael Jordan where Michael Jordan's greatness was, period, and is. I mean, look, I'm not going to pick sides in this debate, all right? But if I was to, I would pick Michael Jordan. And do you know why I would pick Michael Jordan? It's not because the guy's got 6 rings. It's not because of all the scoring titles. It's not because of all the things he did defensively that people don't ever want to talk about for some reason. It's not because of all the championship rings. It's not because he led 3 really average, mediocre teams to titles that people don't say are average when they were. And the other guys that wanted to come and play with him, the respect that he had in the league from people, none of that stuff. All I need to know about Michael Jordan is one thing, and that is every time somebody comes along, people try to figure out, hey, is this guy like Michael Jordan? You see, the mere fact that people start trying to draw comparisons to him tells you who the real great one really is. At least it should. But you know the problem that I have with these hot take debates is that you eventually have to diminish the career of one of the other people that are involved in the debate. You see, that's why I hated the Jordan-LeBron James debate. Because after a while, number one, not only did Kobe Bryant get lost in translation, but number 2, it became purely about numbers instead of the effect that they had on the game. Then once it finally came to the effect that they had on the game, by then both men's accomplishments really meant nothing. And I'm just so sick of it. You see, the great thing about the comparison to Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali was that people were pretty respectful about it, at least from the people that I've talked to, and their careers still meant something. You didn't diminish the career of either one because you knew both were great. And it was an apples to apples conversation because they were both heavyweights. And in their primes, they were some of the most phenomenal fighters we've ever seen. And it definitely was apples to apples because Muhammad Ali had fought a guy that was like Mike Tyson and George Foreman. You see, George Foreman hadn't been past the 3rd round with anybody at 26-0 defending his title against Muhammad Ali. It's an apples to apples conversation. Hey, Tyson's got a lot of power. Tyson has this capability and that. You see what I'm saying? But Tyson fought this guy and Tyson got that guy. And the best part about it is that the time when it was all said and done and everything was over, during Tyson's career, Muhammad Ali talked about how great Mike Tyson was. You see, I just feel like those things have gotten lost with these hot take debates. And I get it. Look, man, everybody wants to flex their knowledge. You want to throw out the numbers. You want to throw out the timelines. You want to, but it's really kind of all the same stuff, isn't it? If you're going to argue for Tom Brady, you're going to say football's a tougher sport. It's harder to win in the NFL. You're going to take more hits. You get a beating back there. Brady's been hurt and he still came back. He's 40 years old and still winning titles. Jordan was so-so at age 40, et cetera, et cetera. You could have the arguments for Jordan. Well, until Brady gets that 6th ring, Jordan's got more rings. But how many times have you heard me talk about how if we were having a true rings discussion, then Bill Russell would trump everybody? That's the other thing that I hate about this. It's all about championships and titles and, we've labeled Peyton Manning the greatest regular season quarterback of all time. I just don't understand why we can't focus on the greatness that they have now while they have it. Because what we're witnessing in Tom Brady is pretty much once in a lifetime, guys. I don't understand how we're seeing 2 teams in the same era be as prolific as they have been in New England and Alabama in the collegiate level. It's just outstanding. And I don't think that we're truly taking time to really appreciate just how great Nick Saban and Tom Brady and all the pieces of the puzzle that have come together to make this happen truly are. How many New England Patriots have left the Patriots roster and gone on to have abysmal careers? If you go to New England, you are going to be a winner, and that's all there is to it. I just am really over this whole thing. Because you want to know what the bottom line is? Tom Brady is probably the greatest quarterback of all time, and I don't really find any ways to debate it. You can bring up the scandals all you want to, but the great Joe Montana himself said that none of that will diminish the accomplishments of Tom Brady. Because you have to think about certain things that are really out of his control. Did he know about Spygate? Did he know about Deflategate? We can know for certain that he probably didn't know about Spygate. And what's amazing to me is how everybody bashes the New England Patriots, and they all talk about the infamous fumble, right? The Tuck rule. Everybody talks about that. Forgetting that Charles Woodson, cornerback of the Raiders, was right over there on the New England Patriots sideline and got the exact play call and knew exactly what they were going to do. That's a form of cheating, guys. But we just kind of always look over that little part of that story, though, don't we? So the point that I'm making is this. You want to bash Tom Brady for cheating? Great. But we're going to have to go after all 32 teams in the NFL because they're all guilty of it. Do I like it? Hell no, I don't like the fact that the Patriots cheat. I'm not condoning it at all. Is there anything that I can do to stop it? Is there anything that you can do to stop it? Maybe if we petition the NFL, maybe if we, had them crack down with harsher policies on, what happens if you get busted for cheating. Maybe if we do like they do at the collegiate level and say, you know what, the Super Bowl title isn't yours. But if you did that, though, you would completely crush the NFL. See, once you take away the credibility, and you could say the credibility is already lost, I can hear it now, but it's not. But once you take it away, it makes it hard to recover. But the MLB survived through the entire, what they call now the steroid area. And they're thriving. Look, the point that I'm making is this. At some point, all that stuff has got to be pushed aside, and you have to look at the athlete themselves. It's just all there is to it. And when you look at Michael Jordan and how everybody gets compared to him, every year we hear so-and-so is the next Michael Jordan. We heard that for how long until LeBron James showed up and finally basically asserted himself as the guy in the NBA. How long did we hear that for? And once he's gone, do you think we're going to hear so-and-so is the next LeBron James? Or do you think we're still going to say so-and-so could be the next Michael Jordan? We heard it with Allen Iverson. We heard it with Kobe Bryant. We heard it with LeBron James. And yet all they're doing is getting compared to the guy. And I just don't, because look, you're not going to get on my show and start talking about how overrated Michael Jordan was. You're not going to talk about how overrated LeBron James is. You're not going to talk about how overrated Kevin Durant is. You're not going to do that. And you know why you're not going to do that? Because I'm not going to allow it. And you know why I'm not going to allow it? Because all of those men are great. Michael Jordan, Bill Russell are a group of select few guys who have won a collegiate title, an Olympic medal, and an NBA title. I think there's 7 in total by last check. And if I remember, and LeBron James can't be in that conversation because he skipped high school or skipped college and went straight to the pros. Tom Brady is an elite category all by himself. The New England, people say it's a team thing. See, this is what I'm talking about. We are diminishing the career of this man. The players have changed around him offensively, defensively. The game planning has to change when guys get hurt. And he's 40 freaking years old. Let Tom Brady's greatness be Tom Brady, because I'm sick of all these guys standing around talking about how, in those days, like there's some old man in a rocking chair talking about what was really going on. And it's annoyingly frustrating. It's annoyingly frustrating when I get on Facebook and I see some dude yelling in the camera talking about Kobe Bryant was trash. Michael Jordan was trash. Are you kidding me? Nobody wins 6 titles or 5 titles when you're trash. I get it. There's guys with a ring like Trent Dilfer or Brad Johnson. I understand that. But they both only have one. After a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth ring, you're pretty much not trash. Everybody gets in their feels and you're just feeling yourself a little too much. And a lot of it is all social media driven, and I get it. And look, man, if you want to come at me with a legitimate, well thought out, articulate argument, go ahead. But you're not going to yell and hoot, because that's not going to work on me. You know, I used to do that too when I first started in sports journalism, and then I realized I sound like a baffling moron. And especially with my voice being as deep as it is, when I get intense, believe me when I tell you, people think I'm really in their face, and that's just not the way I want to present myself anymore. You want to come with an articulate, well-thought-out argument? Go for it, man. You want to talk about you think Tom Brady is better, Michael Jordan is better? Go for it. But you're not going to get on this program or my comment section and call them trash. Not going to happen, because they're not trash. They're 2 of the greatest players of all time. Mike Tyson is one of the greatest fighters of all time. Ali is the greatest fighter of all time. You know, it's just the reality of things, and I don't know why we feel like we have to diminish these guys' careers in order to try and justify our opinion. Because to me, it's very simple to say, you know, man, Michael Jordan was great, but I think Tom Brady is better because. You know, I don't want to take anything away from Michael Jordan, but to me, the difference that separates these 2 men is this. You know, as great as Tom Brady is, man, let's face it, it's football, there's basketball, it's 2 different things. There's 82 games compared to 16. Yeah, you could say football's a much more violent sport, but basketball could be just as grueling given the amount of time that they spend pounding their knees on that hardwood. I just feel like there's a logical way to approach this, and when we start conjuring up debates like this, we lose all rationale. This is the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. Don't forget I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Drew Duncan 83. Additionally, you can find me on YouTube as Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial.